Hi everyone, this is Professor DiMaggio's Gaming. Thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to be talking about today is a special technique with Rashid, referred to as option select. If you know anything about option select, you know that this is generally defined as a fighting game maneuver or technique where a player can do a single input or a series of inputs, and it would yield different outcomes for you depending on what the opponent does. But it puts you in a position where you can be ready to do multiple things because the setup is so good and protect yourself in different scenarios. So we're going to be taking a look at this option select, particularly for the corner when you take someone to the corner. And this option select allows you to run your offense while protecting against YOLO players who like to do EXDP or wake up supers or anything really aggressive like that. This option select allows you to run your offense while protecting against those EXDPs and supers, while protecting against people who try to jump out, while protecting against people who try to jump up, and people who might try a crouching medium kick or a drive impact, or they might try to throw on wake up. This protects against all of those things. It's that good. So I'm going to be showing how that actually works, looking at the maneuver and the frame rates, and I'm going to show individual responses one at a time for how you would deal with all these different options with the option select and how you would protect yourself. And then I'll actually show you examples within real life rounds and matches of how this actually does work regularly as I've been testing it out over the last week or so. So what you're going to do for the setup for this is, however you want to get to your target combo, right? Whether it's drive rush or jump in or whatever way you want to do it. You'll get to the target combo and then you'll do EX Cyclone, and then you're going to do the run kicks into the corner, and you're going to finish with the heavy mixer. Just like this. Okay, that's going to leave you plus 35, which gives you plenty of time to set up this option select. So what you're going to do after that on the setup is you're going to go into a whiff jab, because that's your fastest button at only 14 frames total, and you will still have enough time after that to get into a backdash before the opponent does anything on wake up. So, you know, again, it would look something like this. What you're going to want to do at that point is you're going to want to hold down and back, because you don't want to keep walking back. If you keep walking back, if let's say they don't push your button right away, you're going to put yourself out of range actually to hit them on various things. What the backdash does is it's sort of, I don't want to say a magic button here, but it puts you at just enough of a distance after the delayed light punch whiff. Puts you just enough of a distance that you can still hit them with stuff, even though they can't actually hit you. So we'll see what that actually means in a second. Why do the light punch whiff in advance of the backdash? Because on the one hand, you know, if people are just sort of selling it, right? You're selling for YOLO players. That's okay for them to push buttons, particularly like a super or an EXDP, because usually they see you whiffing buttons. I think you're setting up a frame kill for a meaty, and that's usually when people feel like, you know, and I've seen players do this before. They're like, well, why would someone do those frame kills? They're just showing to me that they're going to do a meaty, and I'll just light them up. And it's like, well, the game's more complicated than that if you give your opponent some credit, right? Like, people know that there are YOLO players out there that do crazy stuff on wake up, so you can bait that stuff. That's what this is. So you're trying to, you know, bait with the light punch. You give people who are impulsive players a sense that they can do something aggressive. And the backdash is going to put you in a position where you still have enough time to block, and it puts you spaced out enough that you're going to be able to avoid some of their attacks while also still being able to reach them. So when we talk about an option select, it should be able to protect you against all different types of things while still allowing you to run your offense. So we'll take a look at what we get the dummy programmed for crouching medium kick on wake up. People like to do this in the corner. If they see you walking back, they like to go for the crouching medium kick so they can go into a drive rush cancel to try and get themselves out of the corner. As you can see there, you're too far away for them to hit on the crouching medium kick. So you actually don't have to do anything outside of the setup to protect against a crouching medium kick on wake up. They're just not going to be able to hit on that because of the way in which you land on the heavy mixer, and then the backdash, you have now protected yourself against that option defensively if you've got an aggressive player who's going to come at you on wake up. Okay, let's say we set the dummy for EXDP on wake up, right? We'll see what that looks like with the option select here. Okay, so you can see there, you got to push it fast, but you still have the ability to do the frame kill jab, fake out, the bait, and backdash without getting hit by the XDP. So if you're holding down and back to protect against, well, to stay in the same place so that you don't move further back, right? To also, you know, it allows you to block too, right? So you're going to be able to block the XDP on wake up. So this now protects you against crouching medium kick and EXDP. What about a super, let's say like a level 3 or something? We'll see what that looks like here next. As you can see, you're protected against that too. Or how about a level 1? You're still protected. So whichever super they want to try, you're protected. Also, the jab, the frame kill jab into backdash, gives you enough time to do... Well, it kills enough time with regards to the backdash where you're not doing the backdash so early and telegraphing so early that somebody thinks that they shouldn't push a button, right? Like you're really waiting till sort of the last possible minute with that frame kill in order to do the backdash so that, you know, if somebody's going to be pushing buttons on wake up, it's going to be too late when they notice most of the time that you're already backdash because they're already going to be trying to do what they're trying to do. What about a vertical jump? Though it's really big. People in the corner love to vertical jump. I don't... Well, I know why. I don't think people should. I think it's silly. I think if you're going to jump, you should try and jump out. If you're going to get anti-aired, then get anti-aired. But the reason why people do it is because they think that, you know, they can avoid the DI because people... They're deathly afraid of getting hit by the DI. So, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's sort of silly. Like, you're not really doing anything for yourself in terms of jumping neutral to get out of that situation. You're still stuck in the corner after. I think people don't want to jump forward because they're afraid of getting anti-aired. But nonetheless, for whatever reason, if it's a good idea or not, I guess it, you know, it depends on your thoughts about it. But people do it. So what would that look like here in terms of how you would respond to that? What you're going to do is you're going to, if you see jump, you have to be able to read your opponent. If they jump forward, that's a different response. But if they jump up, it's going to take you, you know, a little bit of a second, not a full second to respond anyways. But the way that this option select is set up is that by the time your brain sort of recognizes what they're doing and you push standing heavy kick, it actually works out perfect because they're going to be coming down from the kick. And so you're not going to actually hit them with a standing heavy kick anti-air if you push it too fast. And because it takes your brain a while to sort of recognize what the player's doing, by the time you recognize it, you're going to be pushing it as they're coming down and it will hit. So it's actually, even though standing heavy kick is inconsistent as an anti-air, it actually works really good in this scenario by the time you react to what the player's doing and you recognize that it's a neutral jump instead of a forward jump. So what you can do off the standing heavy kick is you can do a medium mixer and then you can juggle into an EX mixer, or you could do a medium mixer into a level 1 if you want. So there's a lot of options here, but they're all really big damage options if the person does a neutral jump. So we'll see what that looks like here. So you've got your heavy mixer there. You got your medium mixer into EX mixer there. You got your medium mixer into level 1 super there. So the heavy kick into heavy mixer is going to net you about 20% damage. The heavy kick into medium mixer, into EX mixer, is going to net you about 23% damage, a little more. And the heavy kick into medium mixer into level 1 is going to net you about 27.5% damage. So all of these are really, really good options for punishing someone in the corner for jumping. And they're a very safe way of using this option select to punish your opponent and keep them in the corner after. What about a forward jump? We'll look at that next. You've got enough time, as you see there, you've got enough time to react with the standard anti-air with the heavy mixer. I've done this in rounds, I've done this in matches, so I know there's clearly enough time. You just have to be careful when you're doing this option select not to jump the gun after you do your backdash, right? Because if somebody tries to push a button, you can punish that, as you'll see here in a second, but you want to be able to recognize the difference between, if they're doing a vertical jump or they're doing a forward jump. Because if they're doing a forward jump, you don't want to do standing heavy kick. You're going to miss, and they're going to punish you. So you need to not jump the gun on this. You need to give them a split second to try and recognize what it is they're actually trying to do. And if you see, you should just know generally about the person you're playing. Like if they like to jump a lot or jump out of the corner, it helps to know that in advance, so you can sort of prepare yourself mentally for which button to push. It's not impossible to do this without knowing sort of what someone likes to do, but you just got to give them that second to see if they want to jump up or they want to jump out. Okay, what about on throw? We'll see what that looks like here. Obviously, you're out of distance when it comes to them being able to throw you. Are you close enough that you can actually punish that if they with a button? Yes, you can do the standing heavy kick. Fortunately, with this setup, if you hold down and back as you backdash, you will protect yourself against the EXDP or the super, and you will have enough time if you see a throw, right? Or any other button they're pushing that's not going to be close enough to touch you, whether it's a crouching medium kick or whatever else here. You can, as you see movement, you should be looking to push that standing heavy kick because, and especially if they're not jumping, right? Then you don't have to anti-air. But if you see movement of some kind, whether it's a crouching medium kick and so you're just out of distance for that, or a throw, right? You have enough time here where once you start to see the animation coming out, you should push standing heavy kick and you'd be able to punish that, that throw whiff. So it looks something like this. And so as you can see there, you've got enough time on reaction to press standing heavy kick on the whiff. They're not going to be able to reach you, and they're going to be close enough where you can punish them and get at least 20% damage there, unless you wanted to do some other more damaging combo related to like your EX mixer like I was showing you before, or a level 1. You could also try and do something like that too if you wanted. What about other buttons? Let's see what it would look like if you've got your backdash. Let's say like light punch, medium punch, heavy punch. So you can see the light punch whiffs. Look at medium punch. Medium punch whiffs too. So you've really got protection against all of these sort of normal buttons somebody might want to push in the corner if they thought they didn't have a lot of space or if they thought they had a lot more space. You're protected against that crouching medium kick and all of the different standing punches there. The only thing you really got to worry about there is standing heavy kick in terms of being able to reach you. But even then, if you're pushing, because it takes a while for the standing heavy kick to come out, if you're holding down and back for that split second on backdash, you are going to be protected against that option too. So as you can see there are some limits to this option select. If you backdash and block, you're not going to be able to whiff punish a standing heavy kick. Like obviously every option, even this, something as strong as this option select has some limits, right? So it's going to be really hard to whiff punish any kind of like jab, light kick, medium kick, crouching medium kick, standing heavy punch in time, as you can see. And we'll see what that looks like for the the crouching medium kick too. So as you can see there, it's kind of difficult to, whiff punish most faster buttons like lighter, medium kicks or punches. So that's just, again, one of the limits to what you can do with this option select. What about drive impact? That's another thing you can obviously respond to. You've got plenty of time here, as you can see here. You can either block, simply like that, if you feel like the mental stack is too high to also worry about drive impact here, because you're holding down and back, it's not going to be able to hit you. Or if you want to get more saucy and you're looking for it, right, you can obviously react to it there too. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on how comfortable you feel playing defense. Do you feel comfortable enough that you're going to be able to react to seeing someone push a standing button and being able to whiff punish that with standing heavy kick and recognize the difference between a neutral jump and a forward jump and push standing heavy kick for a neutral jump versus anti-air with a heavy mixer for a forward jump and be able to do a counter DI? I guess it depends on how good your reflexes are and how much you've practiced all of these different scenarios. If you feel like you're in the training room and you've done enough of this that you can react between those four, great. If not, to sort of use a shortcut here, what you should probably do if you feel like that's just too much to handle is focus the least on the one that you think is the least likely to happen. And I can tell you from playing matches that the one that's least likely to happen out of all of those is not the throw whiff, because that happens a lot. It's not the neutral jump, because that happens a lot. And it's not the forward jump, because that happens a lot too. And it's not the EX mixer, or not the EXDP, because that happens quite a bit. The one that's the least likely to happen is the DI. So, if you're already protecting yourself against the EXDP or a super by doing the backdash into holding down and back to block, you're already set on that front. If you see them just pushing some kind of button on the ground that's too far to reach you, the vast majority of those buttons, right? Like the only one that's going to hit you is the standing heavy kick, and that'll hit you on blocks. You'll be on block stun, but it won't actually connect and hurt you. So you're just not out anything there if that happens. So if you see any kind of movement that's not a jump, it's really easy here. You just push your standing heavy kick. If you see a jump, by the time you react, you'll push the standing heavy kick, and you should be able to hit them on the way down. And if you see jump forward, you anti-air. So really, you've only got a couple of things to think about here after you do your backdash and block. And that's whether you want to push standing heavy kick while they're on the ground, or whether you want to push standing heavy kick while they're jumping in neutral, or if you want to do an anti-air heavy mixer when they jump forward. So really, you've only got two things to think about here for the most part. You either push standing heavy kick, or you do your anti-air with the heavy mixer. So that's the simplified version of this. If you don't feel like you can handle three options and also react to a DI, then don't worry about it. Just block. You're not out anything, and certainly you're not going to get punished by that with an aggressive player who hits DI on wake up. If you feel like you can respond to that too, the DI, great. But if not, then you only have two things to worry about. Are you going to push standing heavy kick, or are you going to do the heavy mixer? And so this is a really easy, streamlined option select for offense that bakes defense into your offense. And you've got so many things that this covers, which makes it so great. It's incredibly simple with just having a jab frame kill to sell that you're going to be doing a meaty, but also the backdash protects you against just about everything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at some actual real life examples, because I don't think this video would have been worth making if this didn't actually work in matches. And what I found doing this in matches is not only does it work, but it works incredibly, insanely well. This is like insanely overpowered OP, to the point where, people get sort of crazy in the corner. They do all types of stuff. They want to get out of the damage because the corner is a bad place to be in this game, but that gives you so many options here for damage. If you play this right and you play this conservatively. I don't think this is the kind of thing that you necessarily need to do all the time, but I think it's a really good idea for when your opponent is first waking up in a match, particularly if you haven't played that person before and you don't know what they're going to do. This gives you maximum protection against everything while still giving you the ability to push buttons. And once you feel like you know a player a little bit better, you can maybe move away from this option select into being more aggressive on your offense in terms of timing meaties and going after them, if you feel like they're not the kind of player that's going to be spamming stuff on wake up that's really aggressive, like EXDPs or supers. So obviously this isn't without its limits. It does have limits, but it's also incredibly good in terms of providing you max protection against potentially aggressive players, and protecting you against the ways in which they can attack you, while also allowing you to run your offense, but to do it in a more cautious way when you're first playing somebody. So we're going to look at some real-world examples of this. As you can see, this is a Honda High Master, so it's actually relevant to point out that there's all types of Master players that this works against because it's a conservative option. So even conservative players who get a higher MR ranking, you can use this stuff against. So the Honda does a drive reversal that I block, and then I take them... Well, I don't take them further to the corner, but I punish them right with the sequence that we've been talking about. You got the jab into the backdash. He throw whiffs, right? You throw whiffs on the backdash, and you punish. We've got another example here of a Ryu. Take the Ryu to the corner. Same sequence. We go back a little bit there. Jab, backdash, he jumps, and you do the heavy kick as an anti-air on landing into the heavy mixer. Here's the same Ryu again. He tries to go into, as I take him to the corner, an EXDP, and although the response here is a little frantic in terms of me pushing the heavy kick a little too fast, I can still get the punish on that one. Here is a Jamie that I take to the corner as well. Finish with the heavy mixer, set it up with the frame kill backdash, and they jump forward, you anti-air. Next up is a Guile. Take him to the corner as well. Do the setup. And as you see there again, you can whiff punish into the heavy mixer on throw. Here's a Jury. Same thing really. Punish the whiff on the throw into more damage. Got a Mai here. Put them in the corner. Finish the sequence with the heavy mixer and do the setup. You can see here it protects against, as I said before, the super. Into some pretty big damage. Here's an alternate route that you can actually use as compared to the jab frame kill into the backdash that I've been doing this whole time. You can see here, if you take someone to the corner with all of the typical stuff I've been doing, you can actually, as you saw there, you can, instead of doing the heavy mixer, you can whiff a standing medium kick and then do the backdash, and you're going to be put in largely the same position in terms of having that space that's protecting you and able to actually respond to their stuff and still being able to try and bait with a button. And this does seem to work pretty well too. I haven't done this one as much, but as you can see here, it does seem to work. People see the motion for the bait, and then they try to go for something, and the backdash protects you. In this case, the person did a neutral or back jump, and I was able to punish them with a standing heavy kick into a medium mixer, into an EX mixer. So that's just a little bit of an alternate route if you want to try something else. The standing medium kick after the run kicks to the corner doesn't get quite as much damage, but it's still sort of doing the same thing. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked the video, please leave a like or a comment about what you thought. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. If not, feel free to subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks so much.